I welcome my viewers and listeners. I am Mr. Bandyopadhyay. Today we shall discuss an accounting topics. This topics is for those who are studying the accounts or those who are going to appear any competitive exams or any exam where the accountancy subject is included. The topics is the trial balance. We shall discuss the different aspects, how to prepare the trial balance and what are maybe the different type of questions on these basic topics of the trial balance. Let us start the discussion. All of we know that trial balance is a statement prepared from the different ledger balances at a certain point of time, and this trial balance can be prepared at any point of time as per the need of the user. Secondly, this trial balance preparation depends upon the balancing of the ledger account. In this context, we must not forget that the balancing of the ledger accounts and the closing of the ledger accounts are not same. Generally, closing of the ledger accounts are done just before the preparation of the final accounts, where balancing is done at any point of the time as per the need. Now let us discuss what is the balancing of the ledger account. We know that an account or a ledger account has two sides. One is the debit side and another is the credit side. In most of the cases, these ledger accounts or any of the accounts or most of the accounts do not have the same total currency figures or currency value on the debit side and the credit side. Sometimes the credit side is bigger, sometimes the debit side is bigger. If the credit side is bigger, say by rupees 100, then naturally to cover and to tally the account, we shall write on the debit side of that account to balance CD or to balance CF by rupees 100. In the similar fashion, if the debit side of any account or a ledger account is excess of rupees 500, naturally on the credit side we shall write by balance CD or by balance CF with rupees 500. In this way, both the debit side and the credit side total of a ledger account is balanced. Now, technically, if a ledger account or an account in the credit side rupees 500 is greater, then we shall say that account having rupees 500 as a balance. And similarly, say for example the furniture and fixture account has rupees 500 greater on the debit side, then we can say that furniture and fixture has a debit balance of rupees 500. All these greater side amount are recorded in the trial balance. If the credit side of an account is greater, then in the trial balance we shall write in the credit side of that amount. Or if the debit side of an account is greater, in the trial balance we shall write on the debit side by that amount. In this way, if the recording of all the transactions and all the accounts are done in the trial balance and the total of the trial balance debit side and credit side tallies, then we can say that trial balance is correct, arithmetically it is correct, or arithmetically the accuracy is there. Here also we must not forget that after tallying the amount of the debit side and the credit side, the trial balance is totally devoid of any errors. Still, there may be several types of the errors, 4 or 5 types of the errors, and I shall discuss the same in my next video, that what are the probable errors which do not affect the total of the trial balance. Now I am coming regarding the question status, or what type of the questions may be given from these topics of the trial balance. Normally, at the first instance, some transactions may be given, and we may ask to prepare the journal, ledger, and trial balance. And naturally, after recording those transactions in the respective accounts and after balancing them, we can prepare the trial balance as we discussed. In the second cases, only some ledger balances may be given with some accounts and their respective amount, but no debit or credit of those accounts will be given, and we may be asked to prepare the trial balance from the given accounting balances. In that case, we have to determine which account will be debited and which account will be credited. In this case, we shall apply our basic principles, which we have already learned, that all assets are debit and all liabilities are credit. Similarly, all expenses are debit and all incomes are credit. In this fashion, we shall determine the debit and credit of each account, and we shall write accordingly with their amount in the trial balance, either in the debit side or in the credit side. After completions of the recording of accounting heads with their accounting balances, we shall total individually the debit side and the credit side. If the debit side and credit side total tally with each other, then we can say the question is well answered and it is being complete. But if the debit side and the credit side actually do not tally, then we may sometimes use the suspense account, but it is a very rare case. The third type of the question which may be given is the complete trial balance. The debit side total and the credit side total is also correct and it is agreed. Still, the question may ask us to rectify and to correct the trial balance. In that case, we shall apply the same formula or the same principle, that all assets are debit, all liabilities are credit, all expenses are debit, and all incomes are credit. In this context, I wanted to mention that there are some few mistakes, or there are some mistakes which may occur at the time of the preparations of the trial balance. If we prepare the trial balance from the ledger accounts, after preparation of the ledger accounts, we must not forget to transfer the amount from the cash book, the cash in hand or cash at bank, whatever it may be, the balances of the various day books, purchase day books, sales day books, etc., and their balances in the trial balance. Otherwise, the trial balance will not agree. Another most important confusing item is the closing stock. We should know, or we should remember, that in the general case, closing stock is not an item or the part and parcel of the trial balance at the time of its preparation, because actually the stock items is recorded in the stock book or the store's ledger, and from there the valuation is made under different valuation techniques or the methods, and at the end of the financial year or at the end of the financial year, this value is taken to the P&L account or trading and P&L account as well as balance sheet. But if this closing stock is adjusted with the purchase, then this closing stock may be an item of the trial balance, and in that case, if it is not recorded in the trial balance, then the trial balance may not agree. I think this discussion become to some extent beneficial to those who are interested in this subject. I thank to all of you for listening and for giving your time to this video. And I shall also not request you to subscribe or to like this video at this stage. Rather, I am requesting to all of you to share this video among your known friends, known people who may be little bit benefited by this discussion. And after listening this video, if you think you have any queries, you have any questions, you may put it in the comment box. I shall try to answer all of your questions, all of your queries in the next video. Along with, we shall discuss what are the different mistakes or the errors which cannot be located in the trial balance even after the trial balance debit side total and credit side total agrees between each other. Thank you for listening. I hope that you are to some extent benefited and you will be to some extent benefited by this discussion.